today I need to practice just like talking to the camera. See, this is what happens. I feel like stuck because I overthink like the possibilities of what I could say. And I want to optimize my clarity. And like I'm always, I don't know, is it normal to like overanalyze like your word choice and like your inflection sometimes? Sometimes I'm thinking about like whether I should whether I'm raising my voice too much at the end. Does it sound fake? Do I sound stupid? And yes, that's probably social anxiety, but I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm a good communicator. Like, I've had people tell me that I mask social anxiety really well through my conversations with them. But it definitely doesn't feel comfortable. I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. That's what this video is for. Damn, well, I've been talking for a minute and it feels like I've been rambling about nonsense. Like, I know probably insecurity is part of it, but like logically I don't feel like I'm an insecure person, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't know. I know I'm not like, spider. I'm aware that I'm not antisocial. I love connecting with people and talking to like even new people. I think it's so interesting. It's not out of lack of desire to know people. And it's not because I like hate myself or like am embarrassed by how I appear, because I know that I'm not like ugly per se in my eyes. But I took some notes to clarify my thoughts before I open my mouth, see if that would help. Fear of embarrassment. I think a lot of it is rooted in that, which like, first of all, I study communications, so I should be a really good communicator, theoretically. But like understanding these things, maybe it does help, but I don't know how much impact it has on my actual like inner monologue in the moment. So fear of embarrassment, that's like obvious because it's in our evolution to fear social rejection, because you don't want to do something that others don't accept and then get like exiled from the group, and then you'd have to survive on your own. So we still have some of that in our brain that's like, don't do anything that others won't accept, because that's a vulnerable position to be in. That's why it feels like lack of security when you're like kind of saying something risky or being outside of the box. But I don't know, I still just like on a very low scale irrationally think like, I don't want to be perceived as this and that, or what if nobody laughs at my joke? Like, it will just sting in the moment. But I feel like I'd be away. My God, I already feel like I can't breathe just talking about this. But it's fine. Like, I'm chill. I was saying something smart. Irrational fear of embarrassment. Oh yeah. I feel like I could be a much more well-liked person if I wasn't so afraid of these irrational things. And I don't mean that to say that I'm not well-liked, because everybody who does get to know me, I feel like does like me. But I mean, it's hard to get my personality across due to these limitations. And I just feel like I have way more potential that I'm not letting out. I feel like I am well articulated in my head. I just can't express it in the right way because I let the anxiety take over. I want to get my point across as precise as possible. And I feel pressure about that because it's not for lack of like vocab or anything. It's I overthink about all the possibilities of ways to say it and verbiage and wording. Like, why, girl? Just say what you mean. Yes, there's multiple ways to say it in the English language, but it doesn't matter. People can also... Does it really matter if people aren't taking your message like, you really can't control how somebody receives your message. You can try. Maybe that's what I don't like. Ultimately, meaning is in the eyes of the receiver, if you didn't know that. Everybody's brains take things in different ways because of our wide diaspora of experiences and backgrounds. Making sure nobody's gonna walk by me. I'm kind of scared. Low-key took long as fuck to get here. I walked like a half a mile down this pretty trail. And this is the ocean. I was so worried that it was gonna be too windy for you to hear me, but it's not that bad, so hopefully it's okay. The eye contact thing. How much eye contact to hold. I like gazing off. I get uncomfortable when people stare at me too intently while we're having a conversation. And then I'm like, oh shoot, I need to like not blink or like blink now. I overthink it. So I think I want to give the same respect to other people that while they're thinking and talking, they don't need the pressure of my eyes directly in theirs. Like, it's a comfortable space. We can like shift our gaze and I'm not going to take offense to it. That's how I feel. I know like growing up, people would always tell you it's rude to not remain eye contact, but I don't really subscribe to that personally. I naturally talk at a much lower volume than others, I've realized. And it's genuinely hard for me to project my voice louder than natural. And I don't know if my natural baseline has been behaviorally taught and like environmentally taught to me by like being the youngest child and kind of feeling inferior all the time. And I've only have one older sibling, so that's not like throwing shade. I've also just been in so many spaces because of that where I was the youngest, and in my neighborhood I was always the youngest pretty much, and whoever we were hanging out with was always like the baby. So I think I'm used to not being taken seriously, not really being heard, and just like not trying to fight it, because again, I was scared to embarrass myself. So I would just kind of lower my voice and stand in the back, try not to disrupt anything because I didn't want the spotlight on me. At the same time, I think part of me likes attention, I will say. But I still have really bad spotlight effect where it's like, you have the attention and don't fuck it up. Like, don't make any error because everybody's watching you, but like, I'm literally talking to one person. So, I guess that's something that, no, I feel like I've always had that. To be frank, definitely just got worse as I got older, I think. 'Cause I used to be raising my hand all the time in class. I was like, probably annoying about it. I always wanted to answer questions. In college, don't fucking even look in my direction. I swear to God, I hate cold calling. But then again, when it does happen, I feel like I do handle it better than most people. Sometimes where I'm just like, oh, that wasn't that bad. It literally was just in my head. So I don't know. Everything is like, has two sides to it. I'm like the annoying youngest person that's like, ooh, all eyes on me, I'm gonna do a trick. And then the other part of me is like, don't look at me, I don't want to do something wrong. I'm just like quiet in the corner observing so that, yeah, nobody makes fun of me, which is kind of sad, but yeah, I need to get over that. What else? Oh, this has been like a later issue in my life, is that I get worried, especially talking to men, that they're gonna think I'm being flirtatious, and that will communicate, obviously, the wrong idea. So that's been hard because, like, I want to be welcoming, cheerful, friendly, and, like, people to trust me when they're talking to me and, like, make a good impression, just no matter who I'm talking to. And other people take that as you having an interest in them. Which I really don't like. I don't think it's something specific that I'm doing in my communication style, honestly. Because I've witnessed other girls in high school, like, how it is, and I've always cringed at that and not liked that. So I do think it's a societal issue, but I still always think about it, like, oh, can't be, like, too nice, because God forbid, you know. I do feel like people have such a misunderstanding of my identity, and I'm always like, how can I clarify it when I'm talking? How can I give people the right idea of who I am? It's so difficult. I feel like I'm doing good so far. 14 minutes in. I still have more on this list, don't you worry. Yeah. Definitely there's complexities to being straight passing and thinking I was straight for a lot of my life. I'm only 20. I don't know why I'm acting like I'm all wise, but yeah, it's just hard. Like, how am I supposed to act to express that? I don't know. It shouldn't be like a conscious choice. It also shouldn't matter who you like, but it still somehow does. Like, everybody at work, when they found out, like, at this newer job that I started, I just, like, brought up, oh yeah, my girlfriend, and everyone was, like, shocked. And I think I also have anxiety about reactions. That, like, I was so dreading that crowd reaction of me releasing that. Because I know it's not the first thing people think, but what am I supposed to do? Like, dye my hair blue? I don't think I dress, like, super basic. Like, basic, straight white girl. I don't fucking know. I guess it's just something that I'll have to navigate throughout my life. But also, like, now that I'm meeting new people in college and, like, they meet me as having a girlfriend, they say, because I've asked before, like, does it surprise you that I'm gay? And, like, my friend was like, no, like, it's what I've always knew you as, so I don't really, like, think of you as anything other than that. It makes sense to me. So I was like, that's a good point. I like that. So I feel like it won't always be a pressing thing on my like weighing heavy on my mind. So that's comforting. This is so uncomfortable. Talking out loud for some reason like makes these things very real. I should go to therapy. That shit's expensive. And I'm too busy. Okay. Next. I really wish I could be meaner sometimes. Because the cost of being nice is people walking all over you. In some cases. So that sucks. But then again, I would hate to be perceived as a bad person or mean, so. I know it's all like situational awareness, but that's something I'm trying to get better at, is to know like when to not let people cross my boundaries and when to be vocal and stand up for myself and how. I just need to be more harsh sometimes. I'm such a people pleaser. Then again, like, there's other times where I don't want to please people and I don't give a fuck. And I feel like the bitch because I can be mean. But I guess, like, outwardly, I'm not. And that's why my girlfriend tells me I need to be more rude to people. Yeah. I'm definitely overly empathetic. I think because treat others how you want to be treated, whatever. I feel things so into my core, and things that people say can stick with me for a long time. So I'm always overly cautious to not cast any rumination onto anyone else when I'm speaking to them. I don't know, I'm just very aware of people's feelings, so I don't want to feel like I'm like just saying the most basic things right now. Yeah, I want people to feel heard without over controlling the conversation or making it about me. I hate that. Maybe it's like the social media effect of like seeing others make things about themselves so much when like their opinion wasn't needed. They were not the victim in the situation, and people always like try to profit off of things that they don't need to be, and just like looking for clout. So maybe that's like getting embedded into the culture now, and I'm just like hyper aware of avoiding that potentially. I don't know how to sit. Okay, this one applies more to strangers, but debating whether it's worth saying out loud or is it better to just keep it in my head. Like, that's definitely so unhealthy, but it literally feels like so much energy to like present that to the world and then face the feedback. Is it gonna make sense? Is it gonna like, are they gonna connect with it? Are they gonna respond to me? I don't know why I think like that. Basically, it's like, is this gonna be stupid? And then I'll make a script in my head to try to predict the outcome because I don't like the unexpected. Try to like control for all the variables and mitigate any stress on myself later. And this is also definitely an effect of my face getting red a lot when I'm like worked up. Like with physical exertion, yes, that's always been. I think it's genetic because my mom gets it too pretty easily when we're hot. or doing physical exercise, like my face would get so red when I would play soccer when I was younger, and I'd get made fun of. So yeah, and when I'm even like laughing, it gets really red, and I don't really care, because like to me that's like a reasonable cause to be out of breath. But it also comes on when it's not even like, oh, it's because you're embarrassed. No, it happens like when my brain gets that stuck feeling. Sometimes when I'm like, what do I say? Or like, everybody's watching me, it will strike and I feel it. And then I get self-conscious about the fact that I know it's there and everybody can see it. And that catalyzes the reaction. So sometimes when I just feel that tinge of anxiety a little bit, it can be like the most casual, non-high stakes thing ever. And like the adrenaline spikes a little bit. The fear in my head is like your face is gonna get red and everyone's gonna make fun of you, and then it gets red. Does that make sense? I don't know. It feels so stupid to say, but it's still something I deal with as a cause of third graders. Yay. Yeah, I really think it's like a self-induced thing now. I've gotten better, I think, at training it, but kind of sucks. I used to like have panic attacks about it when I was little. I remember crying about it one time because one kid was like, do the thing that makes your face all red, and was laughing at me, and then he got other people to like join in and watch me, and it was really traumatizing. I started crying, and my teacher was like, what's happening? And she stopped the lesson and then asked me about it in front of everybody, and I was just still crying, and she was like laughing. Yeah, I still remember that. This is so relaxing. I don't even want to stop talking now. This video is almost 30 minutes long. But that's all my notes. I think that concludes this episode of, what should I call it? I need to think of a cool name. But hopefully somebody could relate to this. If not, it's really more just for me to practice getting the thoughts out externally without freaking out. Allowing myself to make mistakes in my speaking, because the less I'm worried about it, the more natural I think I'll sound. This is where I'm at. Hi, Mr. Bunny. And you know what? I'm not done. I wanted to add a couple more thoughts because I felt like it and I was thinking on my walk back. So basically, my dream job is to work for my favorite artists in the music industry as like a tour manager, general manager, helping with media and the creative side, directing of some sort, all that. I already know how to get shit done, so I'm not worried about that part, but it's mainly like the ability to put myself out there and get my name out. Not being able to express who I am correctly is like severely going to hinder that. And that is why I feel so passionately about kind of, I don't know, it feels so weird to say like correcting my behavior, but just like train myself to be better at it. I don't know. See, I feel stupid again. I don't know, like once people know me, It's fine. But the whole idea of like pitching myself to someone or something is terrifying. I hate interviews. Like, I'm not the worst, but I fucking hate them. It's so stressful. So, yeah, I feel like I already have like the soft skills, the fucking hard skills to do manager shit in the music industry. But it's just the fucking insecurity of it all. So yeah, I'm gonna get better. That's what this channel is basically for. Love you guys. Thank you for watching.